Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with ReZero Season 4 Episode 7 reaction. Right, the previous episode, we had a whole situation with Julius where Julius kind of challenged the not previous, but the first Sword Stained. What was his name? Raid Astria, yeah. Raid Astria, and got defeated by Chopsticks. Um, and he kind of was going along the same path that Subaru kind of went, where when Subaru challenged Julius, and Julius defeated Subaru badly, but Subaru was too deep into it, so he couldn't back out. But at the same time, he was making a fool of himself. Very similar situation. Subaru kind of saw that, and and also Emilia kind of not defeated, but through technicality won the trial. So Emilia can go to the the other stage, I guess. But Julius tried multiple times and was failing, but in the end Subaru kind of saw what he was doing, the same path that he was going towards, and Subaru didn't let him go the same path that Subaru once took. So even though Julius was kind of rejecting him, he stood by his side and kind of gave him his shoulder. And yeah, so that's what happened. Let's see what happens in today's episode. Let's get started. I'll be putting the timer here. Sync the timer to the original video and watch it alongside my reaction. And yeah, let's begin. All right, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Hmm. Call us what? Right. All right. Hmm. Well, sometimes. Sometimes you have to just do it. Hmm. Damn. I guess she never really. Yeah. Hmm. Oh, Melee. Yeah, it's a. Right. Oh, what? No. I don't think so. Right. Yeah. Uh. Right. Uh, okay. Hmm. Who was that? Oh, what the hell? How did this appeared out of? Wait, where did they get the food from? Bruh. Okay. Oh, right. Oh my god, you. Yeah? Yeah, I don't think she gets hungry. What? Half. Oh. Okay. Wow. Okay. Hmm, yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Well, oh, wait, Silver fell asleep? What's that weird background noise? Oh my god, what the? Hello? Where did she go? Okay, is this a dream? What's happening? Um, all right. Should we be just running about like this? Yeah, maybe this is a dream. Well, no, I think the wall goes away like Subaru did before. Yeah. All right. Oh, what the? Hmm. Yeah, and what's up with the? Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. She changed her. Ooh. She's talking about. Well. Hmm. Well, I. Well, exactly. Hmm. Well, prior knowledge. That. Yeah. Yeah. I'm checking. Right. Hmm. Oh, what the hell? Wait, did he follow the birds as well? Uh, okay, well, this is awkward. Nah, nah, he's talking about who the hell you are. Because, she was talking, who are you? Yep. Because, she was literally talking about Anastasia in third person. Alright, okay, you need to chill. Oh, okay, well, then he knows the whole thing. Well, because he caught her. Yep. Hmm. Yeah, especially after the whole Red Astria beating him. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, which she did a few moments ago when she was bleeding through her nose. Yeah, that's another thing. Strategic point. What? Uh, I don't think that's the whole reason. She was acting too irrationally for that to be Nah, she's okay. I guess he's like, I'm. You listen. Damn. Nah, I feel like. Nah, that is like a. Okay, I'll talk about it later. I guess, like, I can see it from his point. And why you hit. Hmm. Oof. Big sister. Tried to what? Okay. I'm too intelligent. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. What the? Hmm. What happened? Wait, how is he? How's he here? Did he die? Okay, Rem is there. Wait, did he lose his memory or something? Oh no, what's going on? Are you for real? What? Ah, okay, this is the last thing I was expecting. Nah, man, we cannot. After all that thing, if the character progression goes to zero, this will be crazy. Because that's what this is. Like 3 episodes, 3 seasons worth of Subaru's character progression, all reset to zero? Nah, man. Oh god, this is. But I feel like, since if this is the same person, like like memory and, like obviously memory is connected to who you are. Yes, like you as a, like person. But at the same time, what you've experienced and the progression that you've gone through, it's not that easy to kind of, like let that go just because of a memory loss. Because it gets ingrained within you. Okay, that's it. Right. All right. So that was ReZero season 4, episode 7. Now today's episode, for like quite a good section, we had like a lot of like like conversations and stuff. And the main thing, like two main things happened here. First and foremost is the whole thing with Julius and uh, Echidna and Subaru, and how Julius was like, oh, like I know what you were thinking and what you meant, like from the inside, and why you didn't tell me. I can understand that. And I can also understand, like, if I was in your similar position as you, I probably wouldn't have told you either, kept it from you. But at the same time, like, it saddens me to think that you and like Echidna did not like think of me as a knight in that situation. Like, I can see what he's saying. It's like when you try to hide something from your friend, but then your friend is like, oh, like, you hid it from me, you could have trusted me, you know like I both of us are like, we know each other so well, so you could have trusted me and not hidden it from me. I would have appreciated that more as a friend. It's kind of like that. And this is even like, at a more like higher degree, because technically he's supposed to be like someone who is like he's a knight. He's supposed to be someone who is like, even in these type of situations, who should keep his calm, who is worthy enough to be someone, given the like high position as a knight. And like he, like someone who can be trusted, not trusted, but who can be yeah, trusted, and who can be like counted on. Yeah, I think that's the word. So keeping it hidden from him, kind of like shows, obviously it shows concern towards him, which he's appreciative of. But at the same time, as a knight, he is a little bit hurt by that, because he thought that Subaru and like Echidna would have seen him at a in a more like different way, where they like shared this with him, and like trusted him to be like someone who this could be shared with. And, something like that, I guess. At the same time, I feel like he's also kind of blaming himself for not realizing this, because when he said like, how the hell did Subaru know this? And like, and Subaru was like, oh, it's a coincidence, like, and kind of, I guess you could say. And he's also probably disappointed in himself, as he said immediately at that moment, that what the hell, I couldn't, even though I'm supposed to be the first knight, someone like Subaru, who barely even knows you, was able to figure out that it is not Anastasia, while me, like, I wasn't able to do that. So I feel like that's also another thing that is kind of bothering him. So he's kind of blaming himself as well. So all in all, he was not really happy with that whole situation, which is understandable. Like I said, like, you have to like put on his shoes and try to understand it from his point of view. Like, at first I was like, oh, like, like Subaru was like, as Subaru said, like, I was trying to kind of like, I had the best intentions in my mind for you, which is true. Like he said, like, he's not denying that. But at the same time, he's like, like, I, as a knight, I would have expected you to trust me with this, like, and reveal this to me. I would have been happier. um yeah, so like, from his point of view, I can see what he's saying, and I can understand his grievance in this situation. So yeah, either way, this is it's kind of funny, because like in the previous episode we had such a good episode about, like, Subaru and, like, Julius, and Subaru kind of being the person who Julius leans on and all that stuff. And now in this episode, it kind of went in a like not so good direction. But Yeah, like I think it doesn't really matter. Like, yeah, it matters, but by the end, we see Subaru lost his whole damn memory. Don't know exactly how. He found that staircase and he went there, and then suddenly now he has amnesia. Like, what's going on? What the hell happened? So I guess we'll have to wait and see because you know, yeah. So another thing that I was talking about, like as I said, like him, like the Subaru now is like is a culmination of character development. There's so many times he has died. Like so many things that he have learned, the experiences that he has had with his friends and everything. All these things have made him to the person he is now. If you remember, season one Subaru was extremely ordinary. And by extremely ordinary I mean like ordinary, like an ordinary people like us. Like a boy who like has who's been born in a modern world, who's been brought up in a modern world, who got a little bit excited seeing that he's got an isekai, but then very quickly realized that yeah, this is not all sunshine and rainbows, freaking died and then came back, and he's like, what the hell? And he decided to go with that, and then realized that what this whole return by death entails, the amount of like pain that it causes him. First of all, he freaking dies, he experiences that death over and over again. He cannot tell it to anyone. People look at him weirdly when like he tries to say something and tries to change. He's just like all alone in this. Things doesn't go according to his way because he's an ordinary person, in a world full of all these crazy things. So yeah, that is what Subaru is. And he learned multiple times through multiple like trial and error methods, learning about the people, all these things, all these experiences shaped him to the person that he is now. He is, like if you compare him to season 1, he is a lot extremely, what can I say, like he probably had like the most character development I've ever seen any anime character has had. you know like he literally like changed as a person. So forgetting all of that is a bit concerning, but it's a little bit different in this situation because like I said, I think there's two major differences here which will probably make him, I don't know what it'll make him, but it'll definitely change something within him, and it'll not go exactly as it went in season 1, like how he was. First and foremost, um everyone else knows him, nobody else has lost their memory. Like everybody else knows him, who he is. you know they have their memories with Subaru, you know and they trust him, and all these things. So it's way different. When Subaru was first like came to this world, he had like he had like barely any person who kind of trusted him, or like knew him. Like Emilia trusted him a little bit at the very beginning, and that was it. There was nobody else who trusted him. Everyone looked at him weirdly when he used to just like do his shenanigans and everything. And then little by little he like gained trust of everyone. First it was Rem, right? The first person who really trusted him was Emilia. And I think then it was Rem, maybe Reinhardt. I don't know. I don't think Reinhardt trusted him from the get go, but Reinhardt was kind of chill with him. Um, yeah, I think like in a way you could say like after Emilia, the one who truly trusted him was Rem. Yeah, and then little by little everyone else started kind of like warming up to him and trusting him. Julius. I think Julius was the third person who really trusted him. Or maybe I'm missing someone here. Either way, it kind of went like that, and then little by little, everyone like now currently like everyone trusts him. If you remember in one of the previous episodes, where Subaru was like, "Oh, I don't think we should go there," and everyone was like, "All right, since Subaru is saying this, I think we should listen to it because in a weird way he's very intuitive," and they listened to him. would this have happened in season 1 episode 1? No. Everyone would be like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, shut up. So that is one of the major things that has changed here, and that will help this situation a lot, because now people will realize that, oh, he has lost his memory, but like, he's the same Subaru, and they'll try their best to kind of like, like, help Subaru out. So that'll be different, and that's the first thing that is different here. The second thing that is different is what I was saying a few moments ago, is that even if you have lost your memories, what makes you you is something like all these experiences that you have gone through, like, yeah, obviously memory plays a big role in it, definitely. But what changes you as a person doesn't go away that easily. If you have become someone, if you've learned, like, if you've changed as a person, that gets ingrained within you. I feel like it might be a little bit difficult for him at the very beginning to kind of act exactly the same way as the current Natsuki Subaru. But, like, as a person, he has changed. And I'm sure that has ingrained within him as a person. And that will not let him make maybe a few of the same mistakes that he have done before. Like, he's made a lot of mistakes before. And a lot of those came from inexperience and, and being different, as like, not being accustomed to this, like, place, and being a completely different person that he was than he is now. So I don't know, I feel like all these experiences, obviously they won't go away that easily. You might lose your memories, but what you are as a person, I don't think you can change it like that easily. We'll see. Like, anyways, we don't even know exactly what happened. It just, like, from his words, it seems like he has lost his memories, and I'm assuming that's what's going on. It might be something different. Who the hell knows? Let's wait and see. Now, here's another thing that I'm thinking. Wait a minute, let me think something. Look, so, since this is memory loss thing is going on, is this like the work of gluttony or something? Because, okay, so if gluttony eats your name, and what else was it? Eats your name and, oh my god, I've forgotten. God damn it. Like, there's two things. First thing that's going on with Rem, she got her name eaten. Okay, wait a minute. Let me just check this, because I'm forgetting the exact, like, just a minute. Okay, yeah. Name and memories. Okay, so these two things. So for Rem, her name and memories both got eaten. So if her name is eaten, name, which kind of denotes what other people, like other people's memories of you, that kind of denotes name. The name is eaten, nobody will remember you. Memory is eaten, you won't remember anyone. So it goes both ways. So someone who is not remembered by anyone and who doesn't remember anyone might as well be dead. So she's in a coma. Julius got his name eaten. So nobody remembers him, but he remembers everyone. That's why at least he can function as a person. Because he still has memories of everyone. Nobody remembers him, but he remembers everyone. So that's, like, that only name got eaten. So in this situation where Subaru doesn't remember anyone, does that mean that Subaru's memories got eaten? Like, I have no idea if gluttony is involved in this, but since this memory thing is going on, that's the first thing I'm thinking of. So this would mean, if like gluttony is involved in this somehow, that would mean that Subaru's memories got eaten, but his name didn't get eaten. So everyone remembers him, but he doesn't remember anyone. Damn, we have the whole package now. if this is the work of gluttony, again, I don't know how. He just went up the stairs and he just ended up being here. So I don't know exactly what happened, or like, but yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But if this is gluttony involvement in this, then it would mean Subaru's memories got eaten. like Subaru's memories of everyone else. So, now another thing, I guess, like, this is something that I guess you'll have to think about. Like, where does it start? Everyone else is born and bred in this world, right? So if their memories get eaten or if their name get eaten, everything will be gone. No. From the very childhood, everyone's memories, or from the very childhood, everyone's memories of you. What about Subaru though? He was not born in this world. So if gluttony eats something from him, you know, will it start from this world? That's a good question, right? Like, will his memories of only this world, will it start from there? Because I'm pretty sure they cannot do anything about like memories and like experiences from the real world, right? That's another question that I have. Like, if gluttony eats Subaru's memories or eats his name, will it start from this world, like from where this world started, like memories from that, like will that be like a point beyond where they cannot go? I don't know, just something that came to my mind. Anyways, so yeah, there you go, that was this episode. Right, so yeah, I guess let's see what happens now that Subaru's like forgotten, I guess, everything. Now, a few other things let me talk about. First and foremost, there was a section where they were kind of talking about what to do, and Shala was like, "Oh, like, you can just stay here. You don't have to worry, rush. You can stay here, and I'll keep an eye on you for hundreds and hundreds of years." And she was acting a bit, yeah, in a weird way at that moment. She like seemed extremely like serious about it, and Subaru was a little bit taken aback. He's like, "Okay, I'll just have some fun here with me before you go." Right. So yeah, but I guess like like you cannot really blame her because she's been here for like 400 years without anyone. So like you cannot blame her for telling you like, "Oh, you know what, take it easy a bit," like like, yeah, like we have time here, like you can stay here for a while. Like, can you imagine like staying alone for 400 years? And obviously like when someone comes, and if it's especially someone like Subaru, who apparently he smells his like like flugel in him, um obviously you will try to tell them to kind of like take their time. It's been so long. So I can't blame her. I can't blame her, but she was acting a bit a bit in a weird way at that moment. But in a kind of like a sinister way, I guess you could say, for a brief moment. Anyways, so like that was that. Then they had like a nice little dinner, like Ram kind of made it for them, Ram and Emilia. Yeah. And then like Subaru and Julius had those conversations. Then Subaru followed that bird, and then he had that conversation with Anastasia. Now here he confronts Anastasia, and like a few things happens here which I still didn't talk about. First and foremost, Anastasia is like, "Who the hell are you?" Good question. As Anastasia, not Anastasia, sorry, Echidna. And as Echidna says, like Subaru's like background is not really there, which is a bit weird because like everyone has their background and it can be found out pretty easily, especially if it's someone like like people like Anastasia and everyone. But it was very weird that they actually didn't get anything on him. So Echidna was a little bit scared, as you can see. Like she was kind of like like kind of her hand was kind of. Now another thing I want, obviously Subaru was like, it's fine. I'm like like you don't have to worry about me. I'm not really a threat. But another thing that Subaru also Subaru asked is like, what's up with you though? Like you were acting a bit weird over there. Like as you said, like you're what you were doing kind of puts a little like pressure on Anastasia's life. Why did you become so erratic? And like she was going kind of crazy over there. Like and the way she reacted to Julius was definitely there's something going on. So, so this is the thing. As Echidna says, like, oh, it's nothing. Like I was just like, like I was just a little bit, like agitated at that moment. Where's that part? Like she kind of like brushes it off and she's like, it's fine, it's nothing. Okay, where is that section? Oh no, that conversation happens later, I think. Okay, wait a minute. When Julius comes in, right? Just a minute. Oh, here we go. How can you go so far for Lady Anastasia? Oh no, not that part. Wait. Yeah, if you keep using Lady Anastasia O2 constantly manifests like that. Yeah, okay, yeah. Julius asks him the question, like, why did you put so much strain? So why? Now, her answer to this, I'm not convinced. So she says, for that I apologize. I accept that as a mistake on my part. It was a decision made from a strategic point of view. Okay, what strategic decision? At that time, I didn't yet know whether the examiner was out for blood or not. One wrong move, and we might have lost you as one of your strongest assets. I wanted to avoid that for Anna's sake as well. Yeah, and Julius was like, okay, fine, like I accept. So this part, I kind of agree with Subaru's reaction here because I don't think that is true. There's something else. Again, I don't know. Like she acted extremely erratically at that moment. To it just being like, oh yeah, like you were in danger. You were a very good strategic like an asset to us. I didn't want you to die, so that's why I acted like that. No, go back to that scene and look at Echidna's eyes at that moment. The way her eyes popped out almost, it seemed like she was extremely like frantic at that moment and was trying to, like if you're like making logical decisions like, oh yeah, like you're very important to us, so we cannot let you um like die, like you wouldn't have expressions like that in your face. Her expressions are no, like it's something else. I don't know, like it's just something. And I feel like Subaru was also like, what, that's it, like. And Julius was like, yeah, I'm content with that. I feel like Julius didn't really want to go deeper into that, and he was like, all right, fine, that's a good enough excuse for me. um yeah, but anyways, like I don't know, I don't know, I usually I can kind of figure out sometimes, like in situations like this, what is going on. I genuinely cannot, because the thing is, like only one thing, it, like I think I said this in the previous episode as well, like maybe like Echidna like genuinely loves Julius, because obviously, like as Echidna says, that Echidna has been with Anastasia from her birth. So not only Anastasia, but Echidna is also experiencing what she's experiencing. So the amount of time that Anastasia has spent with Julius is the same that Echidna has spent with Julius, you could say. Yeah, obviously she was like in a backseat, because she was not manifested at most of the time. But still, so maybe that's why, like she, like like loves Julius, and you know that's why she acted like that at that moment, like in such a frantic way. But that is not just like simply like, oh, you're a good strategic asset, so that's why I wanted to save you and that's why I acted like that. This is not simple like that, because again, her expressions and everything was not, no, I don't believe that. Like, come on, the way she was like behaving at that moment, like she was like just like like, and then the Subaru had to like kind of like catch her and be like calm down, like and she then like it was just shooting out like stuff. Like, yeah, you do not act like that if you're like if you're like logically thinking, or like and doing this just to save him because he's a strategic asset. No, that's more emotional, I think, like the way she acted. So that's the question here. Again, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But that's the only thing I can think of, that she like genuinely loves Julius in a deeper way. But yeah, I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. Yeah, and I already talked about the whole section with Julius, like where Julius was like, yeah, thank you, Subaru, for, like thinking about me, but I hope, I wish that you and Ekidona would have trusted me as a knight and revealed this. So, he didn't really say that I'm disappointed, but you can see that he's a little bit sad about, like, and like I said, if you think about it from his point of view, I can see it. Like, it's like, just think of it like this. Like, you have a very good friend that you almost trust everything with, and then you suddenly get to know that something that friend kind of hid from you, like obviously it was for your benefit and for your good, but and you appreciate that, but still at the same time you're thinking like damn, like, I thought this person was like someone that shared everything with me and I shared everything with them, and like that was like the trust. But even if he did this for my like thinking about my good, he could have at least trusted me with this, like that, like, like trust is missing, like that kind of thing. And now think that if this friend is a knight, for a knight, trust and these type of things, honor and everything, are like the topmost. So someone withheld holding information from him like this, like hurt him, not him but the knight part of him, extremely, as it's like literally like undervaluing you as a knight, and kind of like, because you're not trusting him with that. Now, that kind of thing, if you think about it like that, like I can see like, like that kind of thing. Anyways, um yeah, so that is like, like why Julius reacted like that, and I can understand, like I can understand his reaction in that moment. And like I said, also the fact that he himself wasn't able to realize that that was Ekidona, he probably kind of, like kind of blames himself as well, and he's like kind of taking it in a bad way, because like he said that, like, what the hell, like I wasn't able to get, I didn't figure it out, but Subaru figured it out. Like, he barely knows you, so as a knight, that is very poor on me, like that kind of thing. Right. Anyways, so there you go, that was that. And then we had, like, Subaru was like, talks to Ram a little bit, and then he comes across that, like, door that was a little bit ajar, and he's like, oh, like, if I go through here, if this works. And yeah, lo and behold, morning time, Subaru gets up. Subaru's like, oh, what the hell is this? And he's like, oh, like, it's an isekai summon, yay. Well, right, so there you go, he lost his memories, I guess. I don't know, like, we'll see. So that was today's episode. That was episode number 7 of ReZero Season 4. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. That is it. Yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.